Welcome to Pro Talk. I'm the Mighty Oba, here again with you again for another installment of the best Pro Talk show on the air, bar none. I'm here with my main man, our NFL analyst and expert, George Radney, the sports editor for the Challenger Community News. How you doing, George?
Hey, how you doing, Pat?
And with us here today, a very special guest, my good friend, former Buffalo Bills standout linebacker, Marlo Perry. Marlo, how you doing?
Man, I am superb, phenomenal, and great.
Oh, wow.
You are always a good brother, man. Man, you were known for your workouts throughout your career. I know this was Legends Weekend. What were your thoughts about Legends Weekend here in Buffalo?
Oh, man. It's one of those things where you're always a little bit cautious about because you're not sure who all they have coming in. And you know you're going to see somebody that you know, but you just don't know if that person throughout years have changed. And when you see certain faces, because you've made the once-in-a-lifetime experiences with them, I can read in body language from terms of, man, they having a great time. They're enjoying themselves right now. Mm-hmm. They're reminiscing of some memories, and I want to be a part of it. Or either it's just like, man, we need to go someplace else. Some is easily that you can read when you bonded with someone, experiences that never happen again. Mm-hmm. There's so much body language that you can pick up. Not only that, they picking it up on you. Right. And when you come with those open arms and you smile, it's just like, man, I've been thinking about you for I don't know how long. I apologize for not picking up the phone. I'm sorry for being in your city, in your state, in your vicinity, and I didn't make the effort to call, to reach out, to whatever. And when you see them, and it's like, man, don't even worry about all that. How your kids doing? How your mother doing?
Yeah. Right.
Man, how such and such. That's when you know the type of bond is still mutual when they know your kids' names, they know their birthdays, they know your mother, they know other particulars that you never gave out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was it like stepping back on that field with all those people there, knowing it was another big game? And you've played against the New England Patriots many times. You knew it was a big game Sunday.
Yeah, it's different. It's not as much adrenaline pumped to my body. I really focused on the linebackers. I even took video and pictures of them. And man, I not as if I never liked any linebacking crew. Man, but I love this linebacker crew, man. Mm-hmm. I had heard a long time ago a bunch of things about Tremaine and, of course, Lorenzo. Man, these dudes, Milano, man, these dudes, they playing their behind off, man. If you really had to know behind the scenes how many things they have to make sure before you can see their athleticism, before they can show their talent, before you know how they can get in on the play, some other stuff they got to check. If you really don't, man, these dudes are so cohesive and doing it right and taking care of their bodies. You don't hear nothing about them in the public or at certain venues and not doing what's needed to be done. Mm-hmm. Man, when I was on that field and just looked at them warmed up, looking at them gave me a sense of, man, I'm slacking in every aspect of my life. I ain't gonna lie back. Every aspect of my life, I'm slacking right now.
But Marlo, you had and I know, everybody talks about the workouts and the nutrition of Marlo Perry back in your time. Maybe you're not doing it today, but when you played, everybody that played with you talks about Marlo Perry and his approach to the game on and off the field. That was a well-known fact that you were no joke when it comes to workouts. And when I used to see you at training camp, you were the easiest exercises. You look like you were giving it your all at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and part of that is this, man. So, what a lot of people, I'm going to break a lot of stuff down really quick. So, part of it is the evolution of your mind state. And these are goals that you have for once you own a team, right? So, even once you are, this is every NFL player mind state, whether they notate it, make it known, or they just every year they fall into it. Number one is this: you want to be on a 53-man roster, right? You want to be on it. So once you get to that stage, you want every 53-man roster. Don't mean they a starter, right? Or don't mean they get in or they part of the game plan from week to week. Some, they just not. They're not part of the game plan. When a new coaching or a new GM or new ownership or a new position coach come in, they priorities as far as them feeling that they're important in it, or even between the 40 and 40-yard line, I might not get out there. When we in the red zone, I might not get out there. All those aspects going into the possibility of me being on the field.
Right.
So when that happens, you want to be out there more regularly, even from the starter. Like, I mean, I'll show you when it's first down and 10 from your own 20-yard line, it ain't the same personnel as first down and 10 from the opponent's territory.
Now, Marlo,
not the same personnel.
Now, Marlo, what did you see in Tremaine Edmonds on Sunday? Matter of fact, that was definitely his best game as a Buffalo Bill. So you were happy to be here to see him. Was he reading his keys, his holes, or where he had to be on each play?
Who's that? Who you talking about? Who?
Tremaine Edmonds, the middle linebacker.
This dude, to be in his second year, he is taking on the weight of the whole defense from even once he gets his bell wrong and just the play calling. Mm-hmm. Just even the play calling. Because sometimes he don't hear it and then he got to give it to them. So like every team, everybody doesn't look to the sideline and pick up the signal. So he getting in and giving it to them. And then, man, for a team like the Patriots, he has for every play that gets into his headphones and into his helmet, they have at least 3 to 6 other checks behind it, according to formation. Mm-hmm. At least 3 to 6. And he has to be knowledgeable of that as well as the strong or free safety. They have to be knowledgeable of the things and get the defense lined up from secondary coverages, from the defense in front of him linemen, as well as the linebackers. So, man, when these guys come out, man, this dude is looking around and standing. Like when he zoned in and he got it all done, that's when you see his hips drop. When he has what the coaches have disseminated towards him, you would see his hips drop and he's settled in to the best of his abilities. But they know all this as an opponent, and they're even ready to call something else once he's settled in.
Right.
Marlo, let me ask Marlo,
yeah.
Let me ask you this. I know everybody's impressed with the defense, but you too was on a number 1 defense. How do you deal with the fact that the defense played lights out and the offense really did not perform, did not take care of the football? How do you guys deal with that in the locker room? Is there ever any type of animosities or any offensive guys? How do they deal with it? Because everybody knew Sunday that the defense performed at a very high level against the world champions, against the very best, against a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame head coach. But the offense didn't do the bare necessities of taking care of the football. And also, I know you were a special teams guy. You take pride in special teams. You don't allow punt blocks, let alone to be blocked in return for a touchdown. Those plays changed the course of a game. How did you see that, and did you have any of those experiences?
And let me start off by saying, you asked me a question, you already know the answer. Man, you're so knowledgeable about so many aspects of things. You asking me a question that you pretty much gonna answer yourself, or you could answer. You just want a first person that's been around and been available and known it, and to say it from my perspective. Number one, when you have a great defense, it's one of those things where every day in practice, you are challenging the offense. I mean, you see where the game has evolved, and it's easier for the offense. It's easier for them because of safety, number one. Still would always be biased. I get it, but I love it. The preservation, but it's easier for them as the years go along. So in practices, you are telling them some of their issues when statistically it doesn't come out, when it doesn't read out properly, when turnovers in it are involved. And good defenses also, we pick out when we done dropped the ball to penalize us because they come around so rarely. Now, when it comes to special teams, it's unexcusable to have one of those. Unexcusable, because they made the game safer. They've taken special teams issues for them to be pivotal. They made the field goals is a bigger issue, but in terms of the punting and kickoffs, man, they have made sure the safety of the player is the utmost concern. And looking at holding, different things like that on those plays, they're more magnified. So to have not only a block punt, but also for a touchdown, it hurts. But let me tell your whole audience something from me, just only for me. I appreciate this loss so much because I would rather have a close loss right now, and when we go down there in Foxborough and the next time we play them, it will be a different story, to the point if they came here and they won hands down, or even if we won hands down, we won up here last Sunday. You better be assured it ain't gonna be the same type of ball game when we go that way.
Exactly.
So this is something I done said 2 weeks ago. I appreciate and understand this loss. Being sure the Bills are in good position, all that stuff. I just don't hope we digress when we go to play the Titans, because their record is different.
Right.
Or the momentum is not there, or God's not there for the Music City Miracle, no longer there.
Right. How you feel about that, Marlo? Bill, anytime the Titans names come up, or especially when the Bills go to play the Titans in Tennessee, I know your mind goes right back to that Saturday afternoon in 1999.
At one point in time it did. It's no longer the case. I mean, at one point in time it did, to the point of, in all honesty, I still haven't watched the game in its complete totality. And at one point in time, I still did not have wholesome feelings to the player John Runyon. Yeah, but I'm past all that now. Matter of fact, I even try to watch. I think his son play at Michigan right now, offensive lineman, over Sunday. It was on a holiday game, maybe ABC it was on. So I'm past that point, but it's about evolving as a person and understanding that you might you probably wanted to make sure I wasn't involved in the play, but didn't know the magnitude of what you did develop to my hardship, you know. And that can happen at any time. It can happen with music closing the door behind somebody and they're breaking their nose and they're going into the septor and upper membrane and other issues, you know. So I'm past that point in my life right now, but at one point in time I was not, and I thank God so much. I have been blessed, and nobody can tell I've had the type of injuries I've had or hardware in my body, and I'm still get blessed every day for having on that same type of mind state.
Let me ask you this, Marlo. George and myself went into the Giants, not the Giants, the Patriots, I'm sorry, went into the Patriots locker room after the game. And what did they tell us about that pump block? They said that they scouted it. In the Giants game.
Yeah, Matthew Slater said he saw it on film. They watched the Bills, watched how they were lining up, and they said, this is something here that I think we can take advantage of on Sunday. And they practiced it.
Right.
So when the play was called, Slater said he looked over at JC. He said, man, this is your time to be a star, JC. Right. Make it happen. And he was fortunate enough to get in there and block it.
Now, Marlo, they scouted a deficiency in the punt formation of the Buffalo Bills from 2 games ago. And they said if they do it again, they did not cover the gunners. If they did it again, the coaches had told Matthew Slater, who was the captain of their special teams, to call the pump block. And the Bills lined up in that deficient lineup again, left the gunners open. How does that happen at the pro level?
Because when you are detailed, great coaching, not only do you look at the previous 2 seasons, when you think you got something, a nuance or something different, you look at their seasons. I'm not just talking about 3 or 4 games. You're looking at last season. You're looking at the season before that. Not only that, man, you're looking at the special teams coordinator, where he has been his previous years.
Well, that's the problem, Marlo. You know that's the problem, right?
I'm not finished.
Are you know that's the problem, right? I'm just saying. You've got a special teams coordinator that's not experienced. He has no experience.
I can't say anything and about it because I don't know enough information. But you look at special teams coordinators and what they migrate to and what they have changed. The same way defensive coordinators look at and offensive coordinators look at and field and position specialists look at from red zone to 40 to 40-yard line to kickoff. You look at even. And it ain't even an individual doing it. Man, it's not so computer generated. You look at first and down from all over the field. You look at 2nd and 10. You look at 3rd and 10. You look at every play from 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3 to 5. You look at all that stuff, and you have a tendency to pick up things because we're all creatures of habit. Unless you're getting some stuff computer jaded and you want it to be as random as possible, and if it come out random as possible, you're gonna look like a dumb coach.
So is that a factor, Marlo, that Buffalo hired? You played for one of the best special teams coaches.
I can't say that because I don't know enough about the current guy's position.
Well, I can tell you he has no NFL experience as a special team coach. And it came out Sunday. He didn't adjust. And like you said, at the pro level, you guys are looking for that kind of stuff. You were the captain of the special teams. So I know you're looking for that.
You look at everything. So you look at a first-year running back. You look at a first-year quarterback. You look at a first-year, especially on that offensive line. Mm-hmm. Oh man, we haven't seen a first-year quarterback or offensive lineman. You got to give them everything, even if it doesn't work. Even if it doesn't work, we know it's going to bother them.
Right.
I'm not speaking specifically towards him, but like I said, I don't know him, don't know his past. Even though he might be a first year, does not mean he is not a wizard or great at it.
Yeah,
but that is bad. And it's not something I'm saying right now that I'm being overcritical. Everybody in the NFL would say that. Not only that, the blocking a punt is one thing, something else, getting a touchdown. But it all goes together, and it'll never not be tied together.
And Marlo, quick question for you. Why is it that it's hard for the NFL teams to put together quality offensive lines nowadays? It seems like all the stars of the game are on defense, and there's very few stars on offense nowadays. And most teams seem to have trouble with their offensive line. Like on Sunday, Buffalo and New England both have trouble with their offensive lines.
So partly of this reason is they've always gone unappreciative because the spotlight, the quickest guys to get to any Hall of Fame notoriety are the individuals that put up stats, that put up yardage, that put up passing, that put up touchdown. So those are the four positions of quarterback, running back, fullback, five, wide receiver, and tight end. In the history, right? In the history, it's never been thought of guys that they first offensive linemen you first engage with, and then they don't be a factor on the play. No different from every single down. They hands on somebody, their helmet is button somebody, touching somebody, their helmet's face mask, and their arms. Every single play. Even when they get up and just throw the little swing quick out, they still got to go there first.
Right.
So when that happens over and over again, and the highlighted aspect of the game is scoring, breaking records, you don't even hear about really until a guy is made it a whole bunch of other times. Who's leading the NFL with the defensive stuff? And I get it. It's all for the promotion of the betterment and statistics and what they call it, not analytics, but they call it, I forget the name, but what they call it in terms of the algorithms when it comes to who the algorithms from online inquiries, from the Instagram, from the tweets, from the Snapchats, the touchdowns from the
Marlo, we're running out of time, Marlo. We're down our last 3 minutes. I wanted to get your take on Sunday's matchup. Well, let's start. Let's do a couple of games. Los Angeles.
Just one. I'm gonna do one at a time. I don't want to do a couple.
All right,
You think one week at a time? You know that.
All right, Los Angeles at Seattle. Real quick, who you picking?
LA at Seattle.
Seattle, George?
Yeah, I like Seattle.
And then you've got a big time matchup. Tampa surprised some people and played well, beat the Rams. They're at New Orleans. What do you think about that game?
New Orleans.
And the return to the Music City Miracle. I know you've gotten over it, but I was there. I know that's a game that if you played in, I think you guys go to the Super Bowl Because you were the captain of the special teams. You were injured.
And then because of that, there's a whole lot of stuff behind me being the captain. But I hope we don't, as a team, retract behind that. Whatever status Josh is in, I hope we do retract. I still pick us. They got a couple issues, and I hope they look at it as a rebounding aspect and forget the past to try to keep on the proper path. Now, let me back up to something really, really quick, really, really fast.
You got to make it real quick, Marlo. We're down to the last minute.
I will. I'm going to run through it. So you want to go from a 53-man roster to a starter, to a Pro Bowl caliber, from a Pro Bowl caliber to an All-Pro. And that only takes stats and consistency throughout the years. Mm-hmm. So every guy that made a Pro Bowl 1 year, they want to keep making it for 3 to 5 years. And nobody careers last, very few careers last as long as you wish them, as long as you dreamed them, as long as you put down on paper that you wanted them to last. I'm done.
All right, Marlo. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
My pleasure.
That's Marlo Perry, former Buffalo Bills standout linebacker, with us here on Pro Talk. George, we're on our way down to Nashville.
Yes, indeed.
Real
Can't
quick,
wait.
what do you think?
I got
Other than Uncle Bud's catfish.
Uncle Bud's catfish. Oh, man, I got catfish on my mind right now. But, hey, I'll take care of that once I get to Nashville. And I think the Bills will be in for a rough contest. Tennessee is much more physical than the Bills. I have Tennessee winning this game 17-16.
I think Marlo hit it on the head. I agree with you. I've got the Bills not winning this game. I think they're going to have a bad output once again on the offensive side. I'm not happy with the offense. They're not taking care of the football. We'll talk more about that Sunday. Pro Talk with the Mighty Oba. We'll see you next week.